Hey there, www.andrewmartinmusic.com. Another late night in the van, informal talk. I wanted to talk about a video Chief Ironbush put out and a statement he made that is very, very interesting and I think really important. And what he said is AI wants to create without the mother. So this is what I'm going to talk about here. Now, the first I'm going to say is that this narrative has a very specific referent, and that's the Gnostic story of Sophia, who created without the father and created whatever this place is, which is disputed even in Gnosticism. But my question is, what if this is true? And I think it is. I think he's like hit the bullseye, and I think Chief often hits the bullseye. But if it's true, why would these archons here mirror image the Gnostic story of Sophia? So now they want to do the same thing except create without Sophia. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, this is evidence that that Gnostic story has some validity to it. But Chief doesn't think so. So this is the how shall I say, quibble that I'm bringing up here. Something's not quite adding up in my mind along this line, specific line with Chief and his beliefs. Now, I do want to say that there's another person out there called John Lash who I think shares a very similar view to what Chief is saying, and the metaphor they use is wetness. And I think Chief would agree with this, that the Great Mother can be likened to wetness. And Lash says that this AI intelligence can never be wet, right? So it can never be spiritual, right? And I think this is a very important point that I think Chief shares, that this AI, whatever it is, it can never be wet. It can never be spiritual. It's an imitation of spirituality. Just like in the Gnostic myths, what Yaldabaoth created was some kind of artificial construct. I think that's the specific word they used. They didn't say that Yaldabaoth created a 100% evil world. It never says that anywhere. No, it's saying artificial, or another synonym for artificial might be deceptive. So it created a deceptive construct. Now, the issue here, I think, is like, who's doing this? You know, is it the Inuit in Alaska who want AI? Is it the Aboriginal Pygmies that are doing this? They want AI. I don't think so. It seems to be one particular group of people that are driving this agenda. And Chief calls them Pale Hebrews. And he's native, you know. So do the math there. It shouldn't be hard to figure out. So why? Why are these people doing it? You know? And again, what's interesting is the best explanation that I've ever come across is the Sethian Gnostic school, yet Chief denies this, even though it's the best fit. And again, I have to go back to why, and the why has to do with something I could possibly concede, and John Lash shares this idea that whatever this is at the root is organic and real at its foundation, and that the life within this organic, real rock is actually of spirit. So Sophia did create it. I think both John Lash and Chief Ironbush share this view, and it's a view that I'm willing to concede that is possible. But then what's gone wrong? If the Pleroma created this, then what's gone wrong here? And they're going to say, well, it's this artificial intelligence that is what is making things wrong here. And this is some kind of projection from a screen, or something that is creating the mind that we have. And in Buddhism, this is called the ego. And in Buddhism, it's saying that this ego mind is some kind of false construct. So it shares the same general idea. So there's something about the mind that is artificial and not from Sophia, not from the Great Mother. And who's controlling the mind in these times? Well, the government, because the government means to control the mind. And then you go, well, who is the government in this age? Chief would say, well, it's the Pale Hebrews. And I would not argue that point. I think it's a very accurate assessment of who's running the governments. One tell is, does it have a central bank? And if the country has a central bank, then that just reaffirms the intuition. This is called inference, And so what they're trying to do, if Chief and Lash and myself on this point, I think we're all in agreement, what they're trying to do is against all spirituality. Right? It's a completely materialistic, artificial, I think some people would say abominable thing to do, to try to prolong ego consciousness. I don't even want to call it consciousness. I like the Samkhya idea that it's cognition, right? And consciousness should only be used as far as Pleroma, as far as a descriptor. So, yeah, I think on that point, Chief is right on. Like he's nailing it. Now, I've been talking about the Vedas recently, and one of the general ideas that I don't think we can trust, and we just can't take it like it's a given, is this idea of the yugas and the timescales. But if we sort of just, as a thought experiment, grant it for this video on this specific point, then the Kali Yuga is an ordained time frame of 432,000 years, where for whatever reason the gods want materialism, and if this was true, then this is what's going on. This is what's enabling the Pale Hebrews to do what they're doing. Because it's just a part of this time frame, this yuga, which will just continually get more and more immersed in matter, and less spiritual. And who knows how that ends up over the next couple 100,000 years. So I'm not somebody who's a practicing Hindu, whatever school, I'm Sethian Christian Gnostic, so I don't grant the time scales. Maybe, but there's some very good reasons why skepticism should be applied there on these issues. But just in a very general sense, it does kind of fit what they're doing, So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say in this video about the agenda behind AI. Don't use it. Try to, you know, unconnect yourself from it as much as possible, which is very, very difficult in this age, and they're going to make it even more difficult for you to unplug from it. But yeah. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. Ciao.